And on that farm he had chicken.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, good people? It's your man, Dito. You're tuned into Freedom Radio, Shop Talk in particular, right here on your favorite network, freedomradio.com. And listen, we have an incredible show lined up for you. Shout out to our opening song from ATL's own Jaden Arnold with his version of Old MacDonald. I know some of y'all was like, what song is he opening up with today? I wanted to break it up and not be so serious, not be so econo shit this morning, but we opened up EI. Anyway, it is all good. Listen, I am glad to be here with you. Happy Tuesday. It is the Tuesday after Easter, and I am glad to have you hanging out with us. My name is Demetrius Tollfree, if you didn't know that already. You can always follow me and hit me up on social media everywhere at DTollfree. That's DTOLEFREE. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, that's Twitter, X if you use it, Spill, all of them, Threads. I'm still trying to get used to Threads. But anyway, if you're on social media, feel free to hit me up and let's make things happen. I am ready to get going into today's show. Today's going to be another great show. But before we do anything, you know what you got to do. Do me a favor. Get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Marco Polo, Periscope, whatever you got to do. But you know who you got to tell. You got to tell your mama them, Ray, Shay, Day Day, Delicious them, Nuck them, Pojo them. Let them all know that we are live right now on the Freedom Radio family of networks. We're streaming live on a few different Facebook pages as well as a few different YouTube pages as well. And let's get things going. First of all, let me give a couple shout outs. Shout out to Yolanda Procto, who is in the building. What is going on, Yolanda? Also glad to have hanging out with us on YouTube. We have Tracy Lewis. What is going on? Thank you for the comment about the song. The song was funny. I was glad to be able to share that. Shout out to Maggie Wincher. What is going on? Glad to have you hanging out. Maggie, as I mentioned to you, we did sing your version of Were You There on Easter. And oh, we had a great time singing it. So thank you for your musical gift as well. Shout out to my guy. Still got to get him on the show. I'm waiting to make this happen. My guy, Kevin Stansel. What's up, bro? Man, let's get together. Let's get you on the show sooner than later. For real, for real. I'm not playing. Yes, Maggie, yes, we did do your song. It is, you can watch it on the Glad Tidings page, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. And it's later, right before the message. We was the last thing right before Bishop Macklin's message, and we did do your song. Take a look at it. Tell me what you think about it. Hopefully, we didn't mess it up too bad. All right, y'all. Let's get ready now to bring up our first co-host out in Hercules of California, my homegirl and yours, making things happen, closing in on, I believe, what, 50,000 followers now on Instagram, went viral all over again. Thanks, Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for looking out for your young homie. But let's bring her up without further ado. My homegirl and yours, the incredibly talented Ashlyn Tara Cole. Ashlyn, girl, what is going on?
What's going on, good people? Yeah, today is another day in the land of the living. Amen. Amen. We just came off an amazing, glorious Easter resurrection weekend. We don't have no rabbits over here at this house. As for me and my house, we will praise the Lord. Amen. But no, 72,000 followers, Dito, 72,000. I gained over 10,000 followers over the weekend, which was absolutely incredible. And we can talk about that in a little bit. But shout out to Snoop Dogg, go, yeah. Shout out to him and the LBC. He reposted, I should say, a video of me singing "Safe in His Arms," and he dedicated it to his mother and his grandmother who had passed on. And it was just a sentimental moment for him. But over 300,000 people also took part in the sentimental moment that led people right over to my page on Instagram, people that knew me, people that didn't know me, and over 10,000 people have joined the Coal Train. They've got on the Coal Train. And so I'm just excited. I'm so humbled and so grateful for just another opportunity to bless people that maybe don't even have exposure to Jesus. And, you know, to have the shock value. Okay, great. If that's what did it, if the shock value is what did it, awesome. Great. This is really me. It's not antics. I'm not putting on a front. I'm not trying to be anything other than what I am. Amen. And I'm just grateful to meet all these people and worship with them and praise with them and pray for them. My DMs are blowing up, Dito. I know that I shared that with you this morning.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can't imagine. Well, you know, it's all good. You know, at least you know that you're more than just popular. I guess you're beautiful to everyone as well. So I'm not mad at it. Do what you got to do to make things happen. So it is definitely a glorious Tuesday, as you mentioned, and we've still got quite a bit to make happen. So I tell you what, you stay right there. Let's get ready to bring up another great friend of ours. He's your bestie. You know, I don't get to call him that, but he's my guy. He does make me laugh. He's always funny, always has something great to say. And let's bring him out without further ado. My dude, Ja'Cory Proto, also in the virtual building. Ja'Cory, man, what is going on?
What's up, family? You know, I gave up the ghost too this weekend, so I'm trying to recover. Woo, we didn't sing, we didn't preach, we didn't have a good time this week. I'm feeling like, you know, God is up to something. What's that? God is up to something. Hey. He's about to do something on my behalf. I don't know about y'all's, but he's definitely about to show up for me. So let's go.
Let's make it happen. I am not mad at it, man. Glad to that's Norman Hutchins, that song that you just mentioned. The God is up to something. Yeah, Norman Hutchins. We should do gospel music trivia one day and see where we end up at. But it is all good. Maggie Winchell said to you, Ashlyn, that she just reposted that clip as well, amongst other people. So we are hyped about it. Now you're boasting 72,000 followers. I don't even have 5. So you know, one day
I'm over it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm
no,
not
no, don't be over it. No, don't be over it. And here's why. The post that just went viral again is 3 years old. that post is something that I posted 3 years ago. So never, ever, ever give up. Like God is still in the working it out business. God is still working behind the scenes. And you think that you did something back then. This is why we have to be careful what we post on social media, because that thing will come back around. And so be careful, which is also something we might talk about today, about what you post on Instagram and how you got to be careful not to air all of your business because it will
ain't
come
none
back.
of your business.
It's not. You got to really be careful, and not even careful, intentional, right? To be intentional about what you post. And so if it's in alignment with your brand, great, post it. If it's not, you might want to reconsider. You might want to put it up as a story or not put it up at all. Tell your neighbor.
Because we record stories in this season.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But yeah, never give up on that social media thing, because it will come around. And it's really just about consistency. This is what I've learned. And I have a love-hate relationship with social media, Dito. I really do, because it requires time. And there's so many other things that I want to be doing with my time that's sitting on social media. But what I have found is that it's a gateway to bless people. It's a gateway to connect with people. It's a way to connect. And so by singing, by, Dito, we gonna talk about this. We gonna get Freedom Radio social media together. Y'all, if you tuning in, please go follow Freedom Radio. You might have clicked the link that I posted in my stories or something like that. Please go ahead and follow Freedom Radio. Go to our YouTube channel and follow and stay tuned for things. But the key is consistency. So we're going to come up with a schedule, Dito. Maybe it's going to be Monday, Thursday, and that's going to be Monday, Thursday posts. Every week we're going to have something posted on Mondays and Thursdays. We're going to talk, Dito. We're going to get this social media right, because it can happen. It can happen in the...
Well, good. I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down to make it happen. And I'm looking forward to making it happen. As a matter of fact, not only are we going to do it then, we're actually going to do it now by doing something like this, by hitting the display name. And just like that, our information is on. Oh, you got to do this for play? Got to do this for fun? No. I'm serious about what we do.
Dito is the real deal. He's the real deal.
Yeah, I take what we do very serious. Yeah, I'm over here. Thanks. Listen, we're going to get things going and make things happen. And let's do a little something by starting with today's National Day. So we only have three National Days today, and they are something like this. So today, which definitely does not fall into my category, but today is National Do It Yourself Day. So if you've got projects around your house or things that you've been trying to do that you can do yourself, I'm not that guy.
You're not handy, Dito?
No, not at all.
What had happened, Dito? What had happened?
You just got to do it. You just got to do it.
It's not my call. It is not my calling.
What you mean, like hammers and nails? It's not.
Oh no.
Wrenches and.
Mm-mm.
He just likes to ride around in new cars. He just rides.
I have my friends. I call my friends to help.
Lord, help us. Forgive us, Lord. Forgive us, Lord.
I call my friends. They come and they go, Demetrio, we do for you, my friend. You tell no one, but this is not my job, but I do for you because I like you, Demetrio. I'm like, okay, Pablo. So yeah, no, I'm not handy at all.
Help us, Jesus.
But I don't have problems being an equal opportunity employer. So anyway, today is National Do It Yourself Day. Now, secondly, this takes me back into my days of yesteryear. Today is National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day. Ooh. Yes, God. National
Ja'Cory, are you serious, Ja'Cory? Hold on a minute. Ja'Cory, peanut butter and jelly is gross?
Yes.
Why?
Well, my mother used to put peanut butter in our mouths when we were crying to stop us from crying. So peanut butter is out, period. And if the jelly ain't strawberry, I don't want it. Bougie.
Wow.
I didn't do sandwiches. I didn't do sandwiches at all. I hate sandwiches.
Okay.
You look at your mom laughing. Your mom is on here laughing. That is funny. She done ruined peanut butter for you. That is wild. Peanut butter and jelly. Yeah. Okay, so I don't do peanut butter anymore because you could DM me your blood type. Okay, I'll tell you about it another time about blood type and what you should eat and not eat and all that stuff. So I do almond butter, but I don't often do it. But when I do it, it's like, man, it's that nostalgic snack. You know what I mean? Come on. Wow. I'm learning so much about y'all today. Okay. Next,
Yeah.
Dito, what's next?
So not only is it National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day, but lastly, it is, I like this. Today is National Reconciliation Day.
Oh,
National
Oh, that's a good
Reconciliation
one.
Day. So if you have somebody that you maybe y'all fell out at some point, or maybe you kind
not
of
to
went in
cry.
different directions, not because you were mad, whatever it is. Today
I'm
is a
really
good
not
day
to
to
cry.
reconcile with somebody. And
Oh
speaking
my
of that,
God.
let me.
Dito,
Are
Even
you all
even
right?
if you don't, even if you don't pull them back into the spot that they were in,
I'm really crying.
reconcile is good. That's good.
Dito,
Yeah.
can I just say this? I am literally crying. I did not know I was gonna
Why?
get emotional.
Why? Why are you crying?
Sometimes people don't know what they've done to upset you. When you ghost people, like we're in a season of ghosting, and I don't know how that happened. I don't know when that started. I don't know when we decided that was okay. But there are things like, if you stop talking to me, like if we have a close-knit relationship, you know what I mean? I don't care
Hmm.
what level it is, family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, prospect, whatever it is, colleague, whatever your relationship is. If you just all of a sudden just stop communication, I'm left to my own thoughts and my own conclusions. I'm left to like, what did I do? And if you're somebody like me, you immediately think, what did I do wrong? Like, I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, well, they can kick rocks with no socks. That's not really my thing. My thing is like, what did I do wrong? And so reconciliation is so important. It's so healing. And isn't that what God did? God reconciled us to him when Jesus died on the cross. He reconciled us, humanity, to him in relationship. And so when you think about the grace that God has given us every single day, can we not just extend a little more grace to one another? Isn't
I
that what it's
love
all
it.
about? Isn't that why God put us here together? He could have just left it at Adam and Eve, but he didn't. He wanted humanity to thrive. Go ye therefore, right? And so with that, we get to extend grace. We get to extend mercy. We could never get to the level of what God gives us, but could we try? Could we make just a valiant attempt every single day to forgive? You don't necessarily have to forget, because if that person wronged you, then they're capable of it. And so the
Hmm.
remembrance of, oh, you took me through this season one time before and it didn't feel so good, so I'm gonna put this little in the category. I'm gonna compartmentalize this thing. Okay, I'm gonna remember what you did, but I'm gonna offer you grace and mercy to give you an opportunity to get it right the next time. But
That's good.
don't ghost
I
people. I
like
just
that.
was reconciled with somebody that and this look, this is a soft launch, but I just reconciled with somebody in Chicago, and my heart is so full. My heart, when I tell you, my heart is so full. And it wasn't that anything was done wrong, it was just like the drift. But when you reconcile one to another, you never know what God is going to do to bless you both. And that
Absolutely.
blessing continues beyond you to your children, their children's children. Like, for real, let's start extending this grace and mercy piece to one another. Come on, y'all.
Can you
Yeah,
get on the
I love
keys,
it.
Dito?
Mm.
I feel it, and I'm not mad
I
at you. I
know.
love it. Yeah, and I had a post that I was trying to find that I wanted to read, but child, you know what happens when you're looking for it, you can't never find it. So I'm just going to go without it. But the gist of what I was going to say about Reconciliation Day is that if you have a friend and you fall out and you guys can't come back and reconcile, you guys were never friends in the first place.
Mm.
So if me and you, Ashton, ever fall out, and we've been friends for years, but if something happens and we fall out and it's so bad that we can't reconcile, we was never friends in the first place. And so I'm gonna just have to say goodbye and good riddance. While we're still in this place, I want to bring up our next co-host out in the ATL of Georgia. My guy, he is the original Hallelujah Morning Man himself, waiting backstage. Let's bring him up, my guy, Demetrius Hunter. Demetrius, man, what is going on?
Sleep deprivation is what's going on. Good morning.
What word? What did you say? What?
Sleep deprivation.
He said deprivation.
I thought it was sleep deprivation. I thought
He said deprivation.
Listen,
wow.
my brain, bro.
Okay.
Hold on. There was an extra syllable in there somewhere. Hold on.
Look,
I can't.
okay, look, Anna, we're gonna be reconciliating next week. Did I even say that?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my
So
God.
Demetrius is in here.
Don't fall out
So
with me.
Demetrius is in here, and I gotta mention that obviously Demetrius has been watching BMF, and the reason why I say he must have been watching BMF because he has on here that he is Big Meech. You understand me? I'm not mad at you, Big Meech. Welcome to the show. If you know, then you know. If you haven't watched BMF, then you would know. So anyway, first of all, glad to have you hanging out. I'm gonna fix his social media for him in just a second, but
Please
those
do.
are our 3 days.
Please
Yeah,
fix
I will.
Please fix it.
I'll help him out. But anyway, hey, I'm gonna just tell you, Kendrick Shepard makes a great point. Kendrick makes a great point about Reconciliation Day. He says depends on the transgression. One might not have been a friend and was a true friend. So I get it, man. Depends on what it is. You might be able to reconcile with somebody. You may not be able to. I get it. I'm not mad. I have a friend or a former friend that was. He and I were very close. We grew up in high school, and I'm gonna just use this as my example. We're gonna move on. He and I were friends since high school. We grew up at the same church, did a lot of things together. He used to sleep in my room. We shared a room at my house. We broke bread together. My mother trusted him to drive me around when I didn't have a license. We grew up together. I got myself in a situation. He personally helped me out of the situation. But then he came here to where I am sitting right now. He came here with my kids in the house, everything, and he robbed me. He took my jewelry.
Jesus.
And he lied about it. I
Jesus.
knew he had it. I called a friend and found out that he had it. And instead of him fessing up to it, he wanted to try to come back to my house to try to put it back before I realized that it was gone, bruh. And so our mutual friend wanted me to extend him an olive branch and try to still remain friends. The olive branch was, you guys aren't currently putting money on my books. There is the olive branch, young man. So so I'm with you, Kendrick. There are certain people that can cross a line, that can do things that you cannot reconcile for. And you know what? And I've tried to be that super save detour where I could say, okay, you know what? I'll forgive him. I'll call him. I ain't got there. I forgave him. And I know you're supposed to forgive and forget. I forgave him, but I didn't forget enough to where I'm going to just go back and just let him back into my inner sanctum. So y'all keep me in prayer. And this.
But sometimes you can't. You can call him and tell him it is finished, though. I forgive you, but it is finished.
And Demetrius, y'all better than me. Let me tell you something. I think, and maybe y'all can help me with this because all of us here have lost a parent. So since the death of my father in 2018, when it comes to people walking away or throwing their hands up or whatever, like I'm so numb. I'm just like, oh, okay. And I just keep it moving. I'm not reaching out. I don't care to reach out. I'm good. Like, I'm really good. Because I don't know if it's because I feel like I've lost something bigger than this. But literally since my father's passing, if it ain't probably immediate family or someone like I'm really, 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 really close to, like, I'm really good. I don't care. However you feel, whatever you want to feel. Because I'm at a place now where I'm not in a place of explaining anything to anyone unless you feel that I've wronged you. And then you need to tell me how I wronged you. And if it don't make sense, I'm still good. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. I think what you're saying is so good. What you're saying is so good. And I think that there's levels to this thing, right? Stealing, thou shalt not steal. Okay. If we're going to base our life on biblical principles, thou shalt not steal. Okay. So if you steal, then thou shalt not be in my life. So we're going to base those on biblical principles. Absolutely.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. And Allegra chimed in. She knows exactly. She knows exactly what I've been through because I shared this with her. And when I told it to her, she was in disbelief. And she says, "Hello, Facebook family. I'm late, but hearing this story, I may need to fall back so that I won't get mad all over again. She says, I'm not even sure what you all are talking about, but if you lie, you'll steal. If you steal, you kill. And it just goes on further about that. And she just says, you know, she remembers about this situation that happened. And I'm telling you, I know she's seen me mad before, but I don't think she's seen me that mad in my life before until that situation happened, because this was who I thought was going to be a lifelong friend. As I mentioned, he helped me in a time of need. But, you know, and again, he's tried to reach out to me. He tried to add me as a friend on Facebook and hit me up on Messenger and said, you know, hey, man, when are you going to add me as a friend? God, bro, hey, sir, it's best if we just remain, you're where you are and I'm where I am, and we just move on and be that way. Let me
just acknowledge this comment, because it might oppose what I'm talking about grace and mercy, and we extend grace and mercy. But what I'm saying is, protect yourselves, protect your heart. You have to know thyself. And so if you know this somebody came in your house and stole something, I'm going to extend you grace and mercy, but I'm not going to let you near my sheep again. If you have shown me that you're actually a wolf in sheep's clothing, you're going to come into my house and you're going to steal something that I built, something in my home that I built, that I worked so hard to provide for my family. You're going to come in there and you're going to you're going to have the audacity to come take something from me that you didn't earn, that you didn't work for. Yes, I'm going to extend you grace and mercy. But now I know you're a wolf. You cannot come near my sheep again. That would be foolish on my part to allow you to come into my circle again, since I know that you got a knife ready to shove it in my back. So grace and mercy, yeah, you get all of that. But we're still, we still all of that.
So I like what Kendra said. This is my bro. He's up in Vallejo. He's coming.
I'm here for it.
He's responding to you. He's responding to you. And he says, so what you're saying is that it's conditional grace and mercy. I'm gonna say like this. That's just like, I won't call it conditional grace and mercy, but there is a difference between knowledge and wisdom. And you know what I'm saying? And in the fact that I know that there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom, knowledge says that I can drive this car and I can potentially drive it as fast as I want to. That's because I know how to drive. So it means I can drive wherever I want to drive. But wisdom says I should not drive the car 100 miles an hour toward a brick wall. So there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Do I know how to drive a car? Yeah. But do I have to drive into a brick wall? No, that's where wisdom comes in. So for me, in response to Kendra, and this is my bro, we have these type of friendly discussions all the time. For me, is the knowledge is what Ashton said. You're now you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. And wisdom says, I don't have to subject myself to you. I can, if I see you in public, I can speak, I can shake your hand, and I love you. I love you. That don't mean I gotta like you, but I love you. But I'm not going to do anything. I showed love, I showed grace, and I showed mercy by not whooping the black off of it, because that was where I was. Because here's the point, and I'm gonna try to move on. Here's the point. When I got my jewelry back, I had to go to our mutual friend's house, because that's where the other guy had been staying, and that's where we found my jewelry. And so I went to our mutual friend's house to get my stuff. And our mutual friend wanted to try to be a mediator between he and the other guy. There was nothing to mediate about. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing for us to discuss.
Right.
You showed me who you are, and guess what? I believe you. And so therefore, I move on. Let me shout out to my dude, Brandon Lofton. He says, once that person crosses the line, they are no longer the person you knew. They are a stranger again. They no longer hold that same place in your life. I like that, Brandon. And I'm not mad at it. And then Kendra comes back again and says, and please protect my reputation. Don't let her be mad at me. No, nobody's mad at you, bro. It is all good. Let me see. I got a couple more comments, and then we're going to try to move on, and then we'll bring up our next guest. Someone says to you, Ashton Cole, did I just hear you singing Safe in His Arm this morning? You probably did if you were on Instagram. You're exactly right. Shout out to my guy, Pastor Bill Carter in Sacramento. He says, yes, it's like a pastor. It's incumbent upon me to protect the sheep, but I show you grace, yes, but also watch and pray. But pray for me because I may still have some. Well, I'm gonna just leave that alone. All right, y'all. Let's get ready to make things happen. Let's get ready to bring up our next co-host out in Charlotte of North Carolina, our graphic designer extraordinaire, all around great person, super smart person as well. And that is Yolanda Wild Praise Morant. Yolanda,
Hi.
welcome to today's show. And how art thou?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
The color is red.
Hey, if I had on lashes, it'd probably be better.
That's all good. You're totally fine.
Thank you.
You are totally fine. Welcome to today's show. You came right in the middle of us talking about something unplanned. This wasn't nowhere near what we was trying to be talking about. We was talking about Reconciliation Day. Today is National Reconciliation Day. And I was just mentioning about the fact that I had been done wrong by a particular person and I didn't see reconciliation in their future. But anyway, let's get
Can
ready
I add
to move
one part?
on.
Just
Absolutely, you can.
like CNN moment. You don't have to CNN me.
Yeah.
Just like 30 seconds. Okay. Don't use social media to reconcile.
Oh, never.
Social media is great for being what, as Pastor Sam Franklin said, social, right? I recently saw Instagram where a woman was saying social media is not for your coworkers. It's to create interaction with people who don't know you. Now, my personal opinion, it's great to connect with family and friends on social media, right? People you went to school with, people this and this and that. We've all connected through social media. But just
Absolutely.
me personally, do I think public apologies are great sometimes on social media, massively, where you can say, if I've wronged someone, if I've not, that's cool. But, just old school picking up, with jobs created the phone and calling someone on the phone and apologizing and clarifying. And let me just say this, I said I take a preacher's closing. Sometimes you just have to suck it up that it wasn't your fault. And you didn't do it. But as my mom would say, rest her soul, she'd always say, they sleeping at night while you tripping.
Right.
So
That's
sometimes you just have to let it go. That's just you're
stop your
wasting
flow.
more time and more energy. You're taking more time out of your blood, out of your heart, trying to fix something that you may not have even done. But at the same time, sometimes going back and say, you know what, I'm sorry. I made mistakes as a business owner all the time. And today I said to someone, I said, you know what, I'm sorry. I was, which I don't even feel like I'm like this, but I was ashamed to tell you that I didn't understand what you wanted. And so I wasted more time trying to figure it out when I could have just said, do you mind sharing again so I could understand? Clarity, reconciliation. There's enough going on in the world without us adding to it. Just go ahead and apologize. Take responsibility for your part.
Let me jump in, and you know what? You're actually going to segue us, Yolanda. You're very smart. You're actually going to segue us into something that I want to ask the four of you. But let me say something like this in regards to social media. I don't think that you need to. I don't think that you have to respond on social media with a public apology unless the transgression happened on public on social media. What am I saying? So if you clowned me, or if the whole issue happened on social media, two things should happen. If you know me personally, two things should happen. You should, one, pick the phone up, call me, let's get things straight. Pick the phone up, call me, it's okay. Call me up, let's get things straight. And then, if the transgression happened on social media, then go back and do a public apology. But talk to me first. Talk to me first. Try get things right with me first, and then only if it happened on social media. Now, if this happened somewhere else, then a social media reply is not necessary. But if the whole situation happened based on social media, call me first. Let's get it straight. Don't text me. Call me. Pick the phone up. Go old school like Yolanda said. Let's fix that, and then we can even do a public apology together. I can apologize for whatever made you mad, and then you can apologize for whatever you did to go further from there and kind of make things happen from there. So I like the way that you're thinking. Shout out to my friend Pastor Willie Robertson out in North Carolina. Yolanda, you should meet him. He's in Raleigh, Durham, I believe. A great friend of mine. He's the son-in-law of Bishop Macklin. Matea is Bishop Macklin's daughter. So we are glad to have him hanging out with us, my friend. Allegra says that she goes to bed every night. She says, thank you, Jesus. I don't worry about what I can't change and people I can't change either. Hallelujah. Shout out to Felicia Walker Johnson. She says, I have to apologize to my sister today for speaking my truth. So this leads me into a very interesting question. Very interesting question that kind of works hand in hand with reconciliation. And the topic that I want to mention today, off the cuff, is talking about respect. Respect is in 2024 is now a multifaceted word. I saw something on social media a couple of days ago, and I know this is going to probably, I wasn't mad about this, but some of the comments kind of frustrated me. So Kevin Bond, incredible musician, we all know him, Kevin Bond, posted something of Maya Angelou, and she was doing an interview, and a young lady, a lot younger than her, wanted to say something to her, and she addressed her by her first name.
Oh, yes.
She said, so I want to ask Maya something. Maya Angelou said, hey, to you, I'm Miss Angelou. And, went on to say that you don't really have the credentials yet to call me by my first name, for lack of a better term. You're not in that age range, or you're not in that place to be able to address me by first name. So she said, just, address me by Miss Angelou and kind of go on from there. So, and it's about a respect thing. And so people in the comments was kind of going crazy. I was like, I can't believe some of the people were saying that it's old school to address a person by Miss or Mr. or ma'am or sir. I think it's a respect thing. Now, I know Yolanda Morant, who her mother taught her to be very, very respectful. When I met Yolanda, and even now, me and Yolanda have become great friends over the last 13, 14, almost 15 years. And during that time period, actually, it's been longer than that, Yolanda. It's been, it's about 14, 15 years, right around 14 years. Anyway, but when I met her, and even today, depending on the conversation that we're having, Yolanda will still hit me with the yes, sir, or, no, sir, or whatever. Just not being facetious, not trying to clown, just out of, being respectful as the person that she is and how she grew up. A lot of people don't do that any longer. And let me make this point, and then I want you guys to chime in. Here is the point I'm making. So my pastor, Bishop Jerry Macklin, who is my pastor. He is the first assistant presiding bishop of the Church of God in Christ everywhere. He is a grown man. And I find it strange when I hear other people who are nowhere near his age try to address him in conversation with me by calling him by his first name. Yeah, I was talking to Jerry the other day. Whoa. No. Let's stop. We're talking about Bishop Macklin. We're talking about my pastor, Bishop Macklin. So you're not on a first name basis with him. So it's just a respect thing. And even when he calls me, I say, yes, sir, no, sir, whatever you need us to do. I'm very, very respectful because he's my leader. There's no way in the world to ever address him by his first name. So I kind of want you guys to chime in about this whole respect thing. I know people talk about respect is something that's earned and not given. Well, it depends. Some people are just giving respect because of who they are. So Ashley, I'll start with you, and we kind of go around the room. What about this whole respect thing in 2024?
Oh, I totally agree with you 1000%. Especially, elders, our elders. I actually have a situation right now. As some of you know, I started teaching in a middle school in Oakland, and one of the other teachers who's, older, she would be considered like big mama, like, the head of the family. And I love her. And I was like, oh, the kids are going to love her. But in 2024, these kids don't automatically see somebody who's older than them and just automatically show respect. And so it has been this interesting process of, like, when you're accustomed to people respecting you, and you come into a place just because of your 60, 70 years on this earth, and you come into a situation where these kids are like, I don't know you. I don't even really respect my mama. So why should I respect you? You have to show me something in order for me to give you respect. And it has been such an interesting process for me to watch this, because somewhere along the line, somebody allowed our next generation, our young generation, to not show them respect somewhere along the line. I don't know if it happened in the household. I don't know if it happened in the church, in the school. I don't know where it happened, but somewhere along the line, somebody was like, oh, okay, no problem. You don't have to sir, ma'am me. And it's now lost. There are those of us who still say sir, ma'am. I address my students in that way. And in the state of California, and this is a whole nother topic, but in the state of California, they have a problem with sir and ma'am, because what that indicates is he and she. And we have people that are in middle school that are transitioning from one gender to another. And so the school district has decided, oh, we can't say he or she. We can't address these students as he or she. And I have a problem with it.
Wow.
Because you were born one way. You might be thinking that it's something else or wanting it to be something else. But as for me and my eyes, what I see is sir and ma'am. And so I address my students in that way, in the hopes that they will see that I am respecting them, and that is a sign of respect, and that they would then return that. But somewhere it got lost, and I'm not really sure where.
So one thing I want to say, and I mentioned Pastor Will Robinson a little earlier. Now, this is my guy. I played for his wedding. I knew him before he had kids, all this kind of stuff. He and I have been friends for many, many years. And he's younger than I am. I could easily address him as Will. And he probably, wouldn't even think about it. I could easily address him as Will, and people just, he easily addresses me as Dito. However, he says something that makes sense. And this is why I still refer to him always as Pastor Will Robinson. This is my bro. But he says this. He says, respect is the currency of all human interaction. If respect is absent, trust will never be present. Now, this is spoken from someone who's younger than me, but the wisdom that he has is why I respect his office. And that's why I call him and refer to him as Pastor Will, or or Pastor Robinson, however he prefers. But I'm a respectful person. You'll never see me downgrading or making someone feel less than who they are. Well, I tell you what, Jacory, man, let me bring you up, man. What do you think about this whole respect thing?
This is really funny because now they call me Minister Jacory at church, and I can see the difference. I can see the weight, and I can see how it pushes me to be even greater. But even this Easter, and sitting in church, I was just like, we're living in a day where the grandmother's age is now 30, and they haven't been taught. So that's the reason why so many things are all over the place. The grandmothers is 28 and 37 years old, and they've been out doing some of everything. Because I sat in church Sunday and I watched so many signs of disrespect, but you couldn't go to anybody and say anything because it was going to turn up a fight. I was looking at some of the little girls that was on the praise team, and their nail length was so long. It was just like, why you need nails that's longer than the nails that they put in Jesus's arms to the cross? So that means the little kids is in school just clicking their nails because this is what they see on TV when they should be learning their mathematics. So it's so much disrespect to where, it was just, I'm just like, I don't know what's next. What's the next being?
So Demetrius, let me throw it to you. Demetrius, tell me what you think about this. I know that you live in Atlanta, kind of, in that Bible Belt a little bit, and the South, where people primarily are generally respectful. I don't know if they still are. Obviously, I haven't been to Atlanta in a while, but tell me how things are happening where you are.
To be honest with you, I think it goes back to the
sorry.
I think it goes back to your upbringing. I remember a time the late Mother Hunt who was Auntie Richardine to me. I remember one day she pulled up to my grandmother's house. I was there, just talking about, now mind you, I'm grown. I don't even live. I'm grown, and I was like, and so my grandma said, "Who? I hear somebody put," and so I just peeked out the window. I said, "Oh, that's Richardine. Look at Richardine coming through." And she stopped me. She said, "Excuse me."
Right.
I said, "That's Rich." I said, "That's Richardine, Mother Hunt." She was like, "Okay, yeah, that's what it is." I said, "You don't address her." She told me, "You don't address her ever as Richardine. She's Mother
Absolutely.
Hunt." And
Absolutely.
I'm like, huh? I was so confused. Because she used to be Auntie Richardine at one point. Now I got to call her Mother Hunt. It's like, are we specific
Absolutely.
now? I know at church I'm very respectful. But I'm like, we ain't even in church. We're not in front of the people. We like, I'm like this, this us. She was like, she
Doesn't
Period.
matter.
wasn't caring.
Period.
It was just like on a period. And I was kind of slightly offended when I left. 'Cause I'm like, no, she didn't. And so I, kind of talked to my mom and my grand. I called my grandma. I was like, I said, Grandma, like you kind of came to the left. I'm a little confused. And she said, listen, if I don't correct you now, you're gonna feel
Mm.
uncomfortable at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Leave here.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. And so, that's it. But like Corey said, we don't have those mothers now. And those mothers that we do have, some of them really don't want to say that because the kids try to get nasty with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I can guarantee you can, hey,
It's gonna be a war going on.
you play with Flora Lee if you want to. Before my flight lands, let me
Mm-mm.
tell you, it's a few other people that's going to be at your door. And I'm
Yeah.
still showing up with Becky. Okay? Please understand that.
Not
So
So,
I think I think, and I'm gonna throw to Yolanda. I think what has happened is what Jacory mentioned and what you also mentioned, Dimitri, is that the demographic of mothers and grandmothers in terms of age range has decreased so much
yeah.
that, watch this, kids nowadays are so adamant, or parents nowadays are so adamant to not raise their kids like they were raised, whether they're embarrassed by it, whether they just thought it was the worst thing ever, whatever it may be. But parents now are so adamant not to raise their kids like they were raised in terms of going to Sunday school, reading the Bible,
Going
going
to
to
church, period.
prayer,
Period.
yeah, church, period. The yes, ma'am, the no, ma'am, the yes, sir, no, sir. We're so hell bent on trying to carve out a new lane that
Mm.
we don't know much about, that
Come
we're
on.
getting away from what we do know. And what I do know is that the way that my mother raised me, even though I thought when I was in it, it was the worst thing ever when I couldn't go spend the night in nobody else's house, but they could come spend the night over here. No, you
mm,
can't go over there, but they can come over here. Or you're not going to eat over there. I don't know their mama. I don't know their daddy. I don't know how they cook. I don't know how clean they are. But they can come over here.
Right.
My mother was that type of mother where you didn't go to school today? You think you're going outside to play? Oh no, you're not going outside to play. You can go to school. If you can't go to school, you don't need to go outside to play. You don't need to hit these streets.
Dishes.
Don't talk about the dishes because I'm about to start crying because I couldn't go outside and play if the dishes wasn't done. If my chores were not done, I could not do anything extracurricular. And we're so trying to be cool with our kids. We're so trying to be our kids' friends instead of their
Yes.
parents,
That
that
part.
we're downgrading the parenthood
Disservice.
so that we can be friends with our children.
That
So
part.
I think it's crazy. I see Allegra. I know she know what I'm talking about. She says respect is earned, trust is gained, and loyalty is returned. Allegra, you better come
Yeah.
on here. Let me read that again. She says respect is earned,
Come on.
trust is gained, and loyalty is returned. I love
Come
that.
on.
but
Uh,
also, Detail, just to kind of throw something in there because I know a lot of people, it doesn't have to be at home because I had training at home, but I also had training in church. Um, I, I first moved to Atlanta in '98. My spiritual father, where I was going to his church there in Decatur, Georgia. I remember I was as serving as an adjutant. I just began serving as an adjutant. Was there, and we was grab some stuff. The lead adjutant grabbed some stuff, but we were walking out. And so First Lady and her adjutant was, she said, hey, we about to go out. So we were all just sitting there. And so he stood up. He's like, what are y'all doing? I was like, we're getting the stuff. He said, First Lady and her adjutant is walking out. Not only is it nighttime and they're women, but why didn't one of y'all move with them? He taught not only to serve him, but also to serve the women in the church. He never let us just serve him and not serve his wife. And
Michi tapping on that table, Michi.
Listen,
so make this point tapping on that table now.
Because this is not being taught. And I say that because a few Sundays ago, I was standing there and one of the mothers came walking out, because the mothers are so missing nowadays. I love to see mothers in a church. I love to see them.
I didn't see but one hat this Sunday.
And
I didn't see a hat. No, one hat.
That's a problem. That's really a problem.
Stairs, and the gentleman just walked right past her. Literally just walked past her. Older mother just walked past her. Like, I literally came from the other side of the church, ran over there to come help her down. And she said, wow, thank you so much. And I was confused because I grew up in a time where that right there would have got you checked before you hit the bottom of that step. And it would have sent you back to go help her.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
I mean,
it's so much respect.
This is a very, very multifaceted.
Ooh,
it's a multifaceted
you ain't gonna be able to leave this one alone.
Subject. I know it's rough. Yolanda, I want to throw it out to you. I don't want you to be forgotten, because we never can forget you. You're our young, wise person. So what is your thought about this whole thing about respect?
I think it's a deeper issue. I'm sure it can go a lot of ways. You know what I believe is you can only give people what you have. And so what I've had to learn in the journey of the transition of my mom, and I'm just going to be very transparent. I used to feel like, oh, you didn't do this, and you didn't do that. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that? And then, oh, she was so, she didn't let me go nowhere. She didn't let me do this. Well, you know what? Sometimes it's two parts. People can only give you what they have. Mm-hmm. If they don't know anymore, they can't give you anymore. But sometimes people see what you don't see. And so I think a lot of times when I was a kid and my mom didn't let me go spend the night at someone's house, it wasn't because she was being mean. It's because she saw something that I did not see. She felt something that I could not feel. My mom didn't know that I was going to be an entrepreneur, right? And I was going to be an entrepreneur in my 20s, but she taught me the art. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Ooh, she taught me the art of respect, because that art of respect was going to carry me further than my gift. The art of respect would make people say, come back. Oh, man, I want to do work with her again. Yeah, she could have done. But, man, she's so nice and she's so respectful. And my mom always told me, you don't get more work because you do great work. She said, your business grows because you're kind and you're respectful.
That's right.
So the truth is, I know sometimes I can't tell you how many countless times I've gotten corrected. Or people say, oh my God, I'm not old. Jesting that you're old, actually. It's just the automatic. I can't help it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I've been standing at the airport counter, all kind of places and spaces, right? And people say, oh, no. You don't have to call me. No, yes, I do. I don't even know anything else. Yes, I do. My mother was standing right here as a grown adult. She would say, did you just say her first name? So I just think it's a lost art. I agree with that. And I think it's a deeper issue. I think it's something else going on when you feel like you don't have to do your kids like that. And I get it. Listen, I get it. You feel like your mom giving you a spanking or a whooping was the best thing in your life. But let me tell you something. That whooping probably saved your life. And it stopped you from doing something that would have gotten you in trouble later. And I'm not, I get it. Some people go too far, so that there's balance in all areas, blah, 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 going on. I'm just saying that respect goes a very long way. When you come in the door respecting people, instead of feeling like you deserve to be here, you'll probably keep your job longer.
That's right.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Because it just goes further, right? So imagine if Meech
Right.
if Meech was working at the hospital and he was unkind and he was this and he was that, you're not gonna keep your job long. It's just it does open doors.
Yeah.
Respect will open doors. I was on the phone with a pastor today and I said, Pastor, you know what I just like to do? She said, you know what, girl? Can we just use you for all our stuff? Yes, ma'am.
Mm, that's right.
Period.
And that wasn't her intention when she called.
Put me on retain.
Okay, so I'm
That's
just
right.
saying, respect me personally. I'm gonna be 99. I call my own cousins yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. I'm gonna
That's
be
right.
99 like that, right? Because it goes a long,
It goes a
long,
long way.
long
I
way.
agree. I agree. I'll tell you this, and I'm looking at the clock, and we're almost out of time, but we'll get a chance to get a closing comment from everybody. But I'll tell you this, one of the greatest, I know we don't use this word 2024, but one of the greatest whoopings I ever got, one of the greatest whoopings I ever got was when someone called a first lady. As a matter of fact, it was Sister Macklin. They had just started pastoring. It was like 1979, 1980. I wouldn't even know I don't even think I was 10 years old yet. And Sister Macklin called, her first name is Vanessa, just like Lady Vanessa Sappho who's hanging out with us. But my mother had called Sister Macklin, and she missed her call, and Sister Macklin missed her call. And my mama said, boy, if Vanessa called me back, give me the phone. And I said, okay, cool. So lo and behold, phone rings. I pick up the phone and I'm like, hello, this is Demetrius. Who am I speaking to? It's like, this is Vanessa Macklin. I missed your mom's call, and I want to let me talk about your mama. I said, okay. My mama yelled, Demetrius, who is that? I said, it's Vanessa. I mean, she gave it to me for real. And then when she was through and I was crying, and she said, now, who's on the phone? Sister Macklin. Now give me the phone. I'm telling you.
While she was on hold.
Yeah. She didn't speak to her until I said he was Sister Macklin.
Oh,
And
my God.
my mother was adamant about
Jesus.
being respectful. You never address any grown person by their first name.
Yeah.
I never could address a grown person by their first name.
Nope.
So, and even though I'm now grown, I still don't, if somebody's older than me, I still don't address them by their first name. I mean, and we could be friends, we could be hanging out at a restaurant just chilling, but I'm still going to address them, Mr., Miss, Pastor, First Lady, whatever it is, whatever the title is. And even if it's not a church title, and I saw your comment, Ashley, even if it's not a church title, I'm going to still be respectful, Miss, Mr. Even when people call me at work, I can hear in their voice that they're older than me. And I automatically put a Mr. or a Miss when I call their name back. And so, I mean, it is what it is. But let's go around the room real quick one last time, and we're going to get ready to get out of here. Ashley, I'll start with you. Any closing comments, final thoughts?
Closing comments, final thoughts. I want to give a shout out again to Snoop Dogg for reposting a video that's 3 years old in honor of his mother and his grandmother. And shout out to everybody who was blessed by it. I just love the Lord with all my heart, and he heard my cry, and he just keeps on blessing because he's in the blessing business. Amen. So won't you give him a try today?
Absolutely. I love it. I'm not mad at you. Come on, shameless plug. I'm not mad at you. Ja'Cory, man, closing comments, final thoughts.
You know what? I want to do a plug for American Idol. I don't know if you guys are watching, but Sunday Best is making its own appearance on American Idol. We got some Holy Ghost on the stage. Odell Button Jr., which I know him, and Roman Collins. If you are not watching, y'all need to watch. It's off the hook.
Yes.
Oh,
Good
wow.
stuff.
Yeah,
Love
Roman
it.
was on with me. I met Roman on season 10 with me.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Good stuff. Yolanda, closing comments, final thoughts.
So respect will take you farther, but gratitude will take you higher. Increase your gratitude.
All right.
I like that.
Increase your gratitude.
Oh my God.
I like that. That's good. I like that. Last but not least, Demetrius Hunter, man. Closing comments, final thoughts.
Life now is sweet and my joy. Oh, I'm saved, saved, saved.
I'm not mad at you. It's all good. Listen, on behalf of everybody, we're not out of conversation. We're merely only out of time. We do this every week. We do it every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Freedom Radio family of networks. And we look forward to doing this again. And when we end this show, feel free to share this. Feel free to have your friends comment, and join in with us on this. We would love to be able to make this conversation continue even after today. So with that being said, I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it one more time. What you allow, that you will get more of. What you allow, that you will get more of.
Come
I'm
on.
gonna leave it right there. Anyway, on behalf of all of these incredible co-hosts, my name is Demetrius Tollfree. To the next time with the same Shop Talk network and time, you know how we do it. You can help us say it out. Ikana. Holla.
Clear.
Not clear.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Shop,
7,
shy,
8.
shy.